In one of my earlier videos on GROUPBY, I had shown how to apply filters using lists. You had this setup here where you could select values from the list and the data will update as per your selection. This solution worked for only one or all the values of product, channel or region. On this video, one of our viewers has asked a wonderful question. The question says, is there a way to filter that allows for multiple values of either product, channel or region? Something like this. You can see I'm able to select more than one value and the data updates based on the selection. So there are two questions here. The first one is, how do we allow multiple values in a list? And the second question is, how do we write group by in that case? Let's look at the solution. The first thing is to allow multiple values to be selected in a list. This can be achieved using a macro. In the file that I've shared with you, the macro is already included. Just like all my videos, the file link is in the description. If you've already downloaded the file, you would have noticed that this is an XLSM file. M stands for macro. You'll need to enable the macros in case you want to use this functionality. You can right click on the worksheet name and click on View Code. This is the code for multiple selection. The G2 to I2 written here indicates that this macro will run for all the cells in this range. Since we have our list in these cells, I have taken G2 to I2 as the range. As I select multiple values, you will see this macro working. Let's look at the group by function now. The first parameter is row fields, for which I have provided the list of products in A1 to A25. The values are in the cells D1 to D25. The function is sum. The next parameter is field headers. 3 signifies that we want to display the headers. Next parameter is total depth and 1 means we want to show grand totals. Comma is to ignore the sort array and we move on to filter array. Here we will use the BYROW function. We use BYROW as for each row we need to evaluate what do the cells G2, H2 and I2 contain. The array for the BYROW function will be A2 to C25, containing the product, the channel and the region. Let's write the function to compare the values in these cells with G2, H2 and I2. We will receive each value in a variable called R, or short for row. The function we will use is AND. We will compare the values in column A, match the values in the cell G2 and return true or false accordingly. Similarly, we will match the value in the column B with H2 and return true or false. And finally, we will match the value in column C with I2 and return true or false. If all of these return a true, then the AND will return a true and the unit sold value will be considered by group by, else no. We are doing this comparison using an if statement. If the value is all, we return a true, but if not, we do the comparison. Index R(1,1) means the first column or column A. TEXTSPLIT will split the text in the cell G2 using the delimiter comma. If the value in the column A is present in the cell G2, then XMATCH will return a number. And that would mean that is number will return true. And this logic is repeated twice more for column B and C. And if all the 3 if conditions return true, then the value of units sold in that row will be considered by group by. So this is the solution for a very good question. However, I want to display the question again. The viewer also asked if it is better to just stick to traditional pivot tables for that. I would say what we have done is slightly complex compared to pivot tables. However, if you work in a collaborative environment and don't want anyone to change the pivot table structure, then you could consider this method. So that's how you use group by with multiple selections. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you'd like to learn more about Excel and Power BI, consider subscribing our channel, Analytics Success. Thanks for watching.